This is so sticky. Hello. I hope you enjoyed that little section of notes. Today I am very excited. Well, actually I'm a little tired, but I'm also excited. Like, my energy is not like, woo, I'm so excited. But I've been mulling over these topics that I wanted to speak about, and I'm like finally gonna do just a rambling soft-spoken video because lots of you seem to enjoy it, and it was really fun for me to do a video like that as well. So hopefully this is gonna be relaxing for you and maybe interesting too. I should introduce myself, as I every single time forget to do. My name is Lupin, and you can call me Lulu or Lou, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to create kind of a therapeutic environment today, and what I was writing there what I was writing just a minute ago was, it says, oh, you can't see, ramble topics. What I find is that I don't need to, like, write a speech or anything, but if I just try and talk about random stuff, it's, I struggle to stay on, to make some kind of point or to, like, get anywhere with it. So I was just gonna talk about nothing or everything. So today, I wanted to talk about, I have two sections. One is, I just wanted to talk about being online and putting out stuff into the internet, and my thoughts about what is on the internet in some capacity. And then the second topic is just media that I've been enjoying that I wanted to share with you. My reflections on the media. So definitely I'll tell you what I'm going to talk about, and then I'll have timestamps. So if you don't want to have, like, for example, a film or book spoiled, then that will not, then you can skip ahead. So, okay, let's begin with the first topic. So I have been reflecting a lot about when you put yourself online, just the things that you receive back, kind of unwanted comments or unwelcome advances, sort of that kind of thing. And it made me, as more people have been here, which I'm deeply grateful for and I'm amazed by, I'm very stunned that people are wanting to watch my videos, you guys are wanting to watch my videos, and that it's relaxing for you. I have been thinking about what is my intention in the videos that I put out online, and I've I've just been thinking I want every video, everything that all the energy that I'm putting out into the world in general, but especially onto the internet, to be of my highest integrity, and also to be lifting people up, be a peaceful space for people, and feel just generally welcoming and loving and safe. So that's a simple thing, but to state it feels good, especially because I've been sort of experimenting with what kind of videos I want to make, and what am I putting out into the world. So I was just thinking, okay, I can do all of that, but I always want that to be known as at least to myself, and if you're curious, that to be my intention, that it's peaceful for you, welcoming, safe, and uplifting. There's a lot of heavy stuff on the internet, or stuff that kind of bogs you down to some degree, and I want all the things that I put out to be a reflection of just unconditional love, and maybe you might be listening to this and thinking it sounds cheesy or what have you. You can think any number of things. If you hear that sound, it's my cat, and she's making biscuits. Anyways, it may not seem like a big thing, but it's important to me. So that was one thing I wanted to discuss. And then this is another thing that I've been thinking about a lot, in consideration to the things that are online nowadays, and thinking about how much content there is around routine and people's habits, and how much this is like a big thing that we're talking about. What do you do to feel your best, and what products do you use to feel your best, wellness kind of stuff. And I've just been thinking that it's strange to me to sell a routine, and I know from my own experience, and I would love to hear if any of you have thought about this too. Like, do you think about the impact that looking at how other people live their life and what products they're using or what they believe in, and how you're just seeing their day, like what I eat in a day, or like whatever in a day, and the effect that has. And even with best intentions, I was just thinking about it, and I've always been like really hesitant to create a video like that, even though I had a lot of fun making kind of like a more vlog style video. If you want to watch it, it's the garden with me ASMR video, where I just was doing something and there was a voiceover, which is like a similar format to like a routine or something like that. So, but I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know. I've just been reflecting on that, and that I don't want to put stuff out there that is kind of inherently, it like tends to, even with best intention, lead to people comparing themselves or feeling like they're not enough just with how they're living their life now. And I mean, power to you, power to everyone to, change their habits and routines that feels right for them, but it's like, I think it's a little overboard trying to do so many things that are like every possible positive thing, and then feeling, maybe shame or feeling like you're not enough because you can't have these super lengthy routines. And I know people have talked about this maybe the stuff you watch online does not reflect this at all, but I definitely have been affected by this, and I thought, why not discuss this? And if anything, why not discuss it with myself? This video is very much like just me thinking over these thoughts out loud, so hopefully that's enjoyable. That is what rambles are, I guess. So that's pretty much it on that topic. I've just been reflecting on who I want to put out, how I want to put myself out there online, what I respect in other creators, and what I think is not really beneficial to other people. So, because I don't want to just put out just put out whatever content. Everything that I have put out has been either like explorative to me, and also with that intention that I stated, but also I don't want to just be putting out stuff just to put out stuff. You know what I mean? So, all that being said, hopefully this is interesting to you, or it can be relaxing. Sometimes I will just listen to rambles while I'm doing other stuff. Like, I love to listen to soft-spoken videos while I do schoolwork. Something about it is really calming to me. So hopefully for you too, you could listen to my voice while you are doing something else or actively listening. Either way, I hope that's good for you. Let me reposition. Whoa. Okay. And now let's get into the good stuff. The discussion of media. I wanted to first say something about this that relates to what I was talking about before. I've been thinking about what is the difference between giving resources online or like telling people about things that have been impactful to you versus like just more kind of unattainable routine stuff, or like sort of preaching about health or spirituality or really any topic and saying this is what you need to watch or do to be this or that. And that is not what I want to do. But I did want to talk about things that have been really inspiring to me. And if you're interested in them, take a look. I'm like super behind the curve. These things that I'm going to talk about have been around for a long time, and you might already know about them, or it's what I'm talking about when I say media is I have a YouTube channel that has been impactful to me, a documentary, a book, and a band. So that I just wanted to talk about the impact that it's made in my life and my thinking, because I thought that would be good topics for rambling, more interesting than whatever random other topics. So hopefully it will be interesting to you. Let's get into it with first a documentary that has been out for a while. It's called Stutz. You probably have heard of it. I just watched it and I just wanted to share my reflections because it impacted me a lot. And this is funny because I feel like, like I said, you don't need to go watch this. you don't need to take anything from this, but I just wanted to share about it. So that is what I'm here to do. But then it also made me think about how, people will kind of rave about something and make it seem like you need this in order to become a better person or whatever. And I don't agree. But anyways, enough said about that. I think you get what I'm saying, hopefully. So I have my journal. You're getting my personal stuff here. So I watched this documentary. It's with, I think his name is Phil Stutz, and Jonah Hill, of course. Jonah Hill made a documentary about his therapist, and I just wanted to discuss the tools, basically, that were discussed in the film. So definitely do not, I'll have timestamps as I said before, do not listen to this if you don't want spoilers, I guess, if you want to watch it, or but I took notes during the film. I am a psychology student, so I think I was also especially intrigued by the topic, and this is what I found. So, the first tool that was discussed in this film was called the life force, and it was shown in a triangle. It's shown in a triangle with 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. And at the bottom of the triangle, it says body. And then the second level says people. And then the third level says yourself. And basically, the therapist was talking about how you can, anyone can take this tool and use it to improve their life today on a very basic level. I feel like the topics that I've talked about today might be contradicting each other, but I'm going to try and tie it all together. So what I like about this is that it's unique to you. You take a structure of, this structure, which I'll explain more, and it's not do this specific thing and everything's gonna be better. It's so for someone who's depressed, someone who's struggling to some capacity, this is a structure that you can come back to anchor in basically taking care of yourself and self-betterment, essentially, which I thought was really cool. So, this first layer is body, and what that means is the first thing that you take care of is your physical body, basically, eating food that makes your body feel better, or whatever that looks like for you. And then exercise, shelter, sleep, basic human needs. That's the first step. Someone who's not in a good spot, they can just focus on that. And then the next layer is people, and he was saying just engaging in your relationships. He said something really fascinating. I don't know if I agree with it or what, but it stuck with me. He said you could just have lunch with someone, you don't have to like them very much, but that person is a reflection of humankind was something like that, and I was like, whoa, that is really fascinating. But what he was saying is just to be around someone and have that social interaction will be beneficial to you. So that's the second layer. And then the third layer, after kind of working with those, and it's a constant thing, it's not like it's not linear so much as just 3 sections you can come back to. But the third layer is yourself. And I thought he described this so well. He said it's your relationship to your unconscious. And he talked about journaling as one thing that it's a way basically to talk to yourself and learn, kind of get in touch with things you already know. By writing, you're kind of in a different state than when you're speaking, or definitely a different state than when you're thinking, and you can sort of catch your thoughts and get some space between your thoughts and what you're space between your thoughts. I don't know, and that's, yeah. So that's one of the first tools. I hope I explained that well. And I just thought that was really impactful. One of my favorite. So, but my absolute favorite thing from this documentary was this concept that there are 3 aspects to reality. 1, 2, 3. 3 aspects to reality. That are constant. There is pain, uncertainty, and constant work. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I wish someone had said, like, I feel like everyone should know this. Yeah, I'm totally contradicting myself from before. It's fine. This just was super impactful to me, and it was very helpful for me to orient sort of my definition of like a good life, thinking sort of, it's easy to get in this mind space of, oh, like, I just have to feel certain about everything. I just have to make all these decisions and then I'll feel good. I just have to not have any pain and then I'll feel good. Oh, I just have to basically not work and then I'll feel good. Like, or something along those lines. And what's so powerful to me is that if you can accepting these 3 things, these are constant, then everything else is like, okay, now we can look at things in a different light. Where it's like, we're not getting rid of these things. We're not getting rid of pain. We're not getting rid of uncertainty. And we're not getting rid of constant work. So how are we, once we accept those, we can move on and live a happy life. Whatever that means. So that hopefully you understand what I mean. Now there's a couple more. Oh, this relates, I think. Alright, I'll start with so he talks about this concept called Part X. And what Part X is, as defined by Dr. Stutz, is basically the judgmental part of you, or the antisocial part. Oh, yes. I'll read what I wrote in my notes. When you face adversity, it wants to block you. This Part X wants to block you from growing and evolving. It's the voice of impossibility. So it creates primal fear in human beings. So that's what stood out to me in the description. It's like the judgmental, like negative internal family systems. I don't know a lot about internal family systems, but I just know that it's a therapeutic modality where you understand your consciousness in terms of parts. Like, you have this part of yourself, you have for example, you have this perfectionist in yourself, you have a parent in yourself, you have a child, you have an adult, like all these different sort of roles, archetypes, that kind of thing. And this part is just one of those sort of things that can be really impactful and detrimental, I guess. It's not like we're gonna get rid of it, but it's just how orienting, again, accepting, okay, this is a part of me, and so now what? Like, am I gonna let this steer the boat? So that was another really cool part of the documentary. And then this also relates to the part X. There's another tool or concept called the snapshot, is what he calls it, or the realm of illusion. And it's a creation by part X where you have I wonder if I can show you. It's like my little drawing. Perfect. Do you see this? Perfect in quotations. Your perfect snapshot. Like, once my life looks like this, it'll be whatever. And again, it's sort of the same thing over and over again. Like, basically stepping outside of your reality and judging what is actually a reality. So that's a big theme, I think. What else? Okay. So, and with that being said, there's another concept called shadow, which I think has been talked about a lot online, the shadow work and shadow, but I really like this description. It's very simple. He said shadow is a version of yourself that you want to hide from the world the most. I think that and part X are very linked. He says the part that they're ashamed of, and he asks, like, what are you ashamed of? And he's saying the tool is just to talk to your shadow and listen. And there was a great scene and a great section in the film about this in reference to Jonah Hill, and I think also to the therapist talking about their shadow. So, super impactful stuff. And oh my gosh, we have so much more. This is gonna be a long video. This is like, it's gonna be as long as the documentary. Just kidding. Let's pick a few more things that really stuck with me. Here's a concept called the maze, and here's what I wrote. It says, it always involves other people, and it's a product of part X. Part X wants fairness. It's a quest for fairness that puts your life on hold. And here's an example. Like, say a relationship went poorly, and I'll speak from my own self, like, okay, I feel like a victim of whatever situation, and then wanting to have some kind of justice or fairness that's not possible, and basically not being able to continue living my life because I'm in this maze of all of that, and I can't move forward. And I totally experience that on a regular basis, and it's sometimes hard to catch when that's happening, I think. But what he said to help this to get out of the maze is to get the satisfaction from some kind of, there's visual exercises, but just basically in essence to get satisfaction from yourself, and then ultimately accept that you're not going to get the fairness or justice or whatever in the situation that you feel like you're supposed to get. Hard pill to swallow, but again, very impactful, very important concept. And so then he talked about active love was the phrase. And actually I can guide you through this right now if you'd like. So if you want to try this exercise that's helpful for getting out of the maze, you can close your eyes, and I'm gonna ask you to imagine a universe made with love, like everything is made with love. Just give it a try. Everything is so dense with love, and feeling all of that love. Put it gently but firmly into your heart. Feel that in your heart, and understand that that is the love of the whole universe in your heart. Now, when you're ready, you're going to take all that love that you have gathered, and you're going to push it towards this person who you want something from, fairness from, whoever that person is. And don't hold anything back. Give everything that you just collected, give it all. And just see how you feel. So, essentially this is an exercise to try and move forward and make you feel more whole and free from the maze. So, by the way, I just want to say I appreciate that you're listening, because this is really fun for me to discuss and look over my notes and think about the impact of all of these concepts. It's like my favorite stuff, super interesting to me. Okay, so let's go to the last couple ones. So I think a lot of these concepts are also, I've heard similar things in Buddhist how do you say that word? Ideology. There's a lot that I think overlaps, so that's something interesting. But this next one is radical acceptance, which this is what my notes say about radical acceptance. Squeeze the juice. I don't know what I meant by that. Find something meaningful. You're not allowed to make judgments or anything negative. Some faith in the world of meaning throughout small things. All events have value. I don't quite know how to decipher that, but I do know with radical acceptance, like it's in the name. It's radically accepting what we probably didn't accept, or we're denying it to some capacity. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna end on one of my favorite ones and give you this last thing that I thought was super cool, and it's called the grateful say wants you to have the positive, penetrating the cloud by part X with gratitude. So, and in the film, this exercise was done by starting out with 3 things that you're grateful for, and then maybe saying that out loud, and then continuing in your mind or out loud, maybe writing it down, and saying things that you are grateful for that are kind of out of the box. You don't want to say the same thing over and over again, like just thinking sort of creatively and getting into a flow of recognizing all of those things. And just doing it for a second can be really powerful. So I love that one. These are tools that were impactful to me that I want to discuss. And I hope it was interesting to listen to. This is a super long video. Definitely succeeding at rambles. So I have 3 more quicker concepts that I want to talk to you about. Or media things I want to talk to you about. One is that I just found, which is ASMR, is John Butler. He has this wonderful YouTube channel called Spiritual Unfoldment, and he is in his 80s, and he's just a sweet man who is talking about his experiences and his life and what he's learned, and I've just been loving listening to him. So there's tons of things that he talks about, so I'll just say one thing that I've been reflecting on. He was saying, actually 2. One thing he said was, the less of me, the more of God, which I loved that. And he also was saying, noting silence and the power of silence and feeling into that infinite space when you close your eyes and it's quiet. You can get into something very different from our day-to-day lives. And also he said something funny about like basically being spiritual, or like getting in touch with the spirit is usually just shutting up, getting quiet. So as I ramble, but it's funny, and there's definitely, I feel the truth to it, where it's like I feel really good when I'm sort of taking a step back and observing rather than sort of trying to put my thoughts out there all the time. So those are some of I really like John Butler. Really enjoying listening. Great ASMR too. Awesome soft-spoken ASMR. Highly recommend. Although I find it hard, I wouldn't be able to listen to him while I'm doing a task that requires my brain, because he is saying stuff that's way too interesting to me. So I'm just way too focused on what he's saying to be able to do schoolwork. But yeah. Okay. Okay, yes. Here's a book that I just read that I thought was great. And I guess with all of these things, it's when I read something new and it impacts my life, or I watch whatever video that's really impactful to me, I'm super annoying about it, and I'm I just want someone to talk about it with, because of how inspired I feel. when something really does touch me. So anyways, this book really touched me. It's called Eleanor, Oliphant. It is completely fine. I listened to the audiobook, which was awesome because the person reading it had a Scottish accent, and she was really good about like doing different voices for the characters. So it was very distinct, like you knew who was talking. And that was very impressive to me and super engaging. But not even about the book, but I loved this book. It definitely has some dark themes, so if you're interested in reading it, be aware of that. Maybe look up you can look up trigger warning information about the topics, themes and stuff, but I thought it was an amazing book, especially about the impact of small kindnesses and small moments of connection, and how much that can impact someone. And also a story about recovering and continuing to live and get beyond survival mode from living a life with a lot of experiences of traumatic events and finding your way to living a meaningful and life that doesn't feel like just survival. So that's what I'll say about this book. I just fell in love with the characters or specifically the main character and Raymond. And a lot of the characters were really sweet too. The therapist was great, but yeah, I mean, definitely, this isn't really spoilers, but if you're interested, definitely give it a read if you want to. If you're looking for an audiobook or a book to read, thought it was awesome. Was really inspiring and touching to me. Okay, and here's the last thing that I've been enjoying. I've been listening to this band called Beautiful Chorus, and it's like mantra music, pretty much, like singing mantras or affirmations. And I've just been loving to sing in the car while listening to Beautiful Chorus, and I've just been relaxing. So thank you for watching and listening, and thank you for giving me this space to express myself and my thoughts, however they may contradict each other and, be messy and all over the place. It's fun to discuss what has been on my mind and has been kind of not consuming me, but definitely weighing on me at times, not in a bad way, just hey, this is coming up over and over again, so just to discuss. So with all that being said, this is definitely the most I don't know, I have not felt